Hello, my name is Andrew Evans, and I'll be teaching your Chemistry 100 online course, Concepts of Chemistry. So, this video is just to orientate you to the course and what is going to be expected of you. Yes, there is a book. No, you don't need to buy it. If you want to buy it, it's on thriftbooks.com. You could probably get it for really cheap. But on the alternative is I have many desk copies that I've purchased to lend out to students like you. Just have to come find my office in Science 209 and request a copy and I'll lend it to you. For the most part, I'll be summarizing the books in a series of videos that will be the lectures. So the first thing we need to note is Google Classroom. If you haven't already accepted the invite to Google Classroom, please do so, because all of the important information will be on there. So, Google Classroom. Let's look at this. In here, in the coursework, you see my office hours, the syllabus, you see some test study material, some chapter videos, some problem sets, and the exams 1 through 4. Start by looking at my office hours. In here, you can see I am here for most days 9 till 3. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I have solid block of office hours from 9 till noon, technically 9 till 1. Same thing for Thursdays. On every day, I should be here 9 to 10. And Mondays, I have free 1 to 3, but many of you might have a lab at that point, so that may not be as useful. But if you ever need to come and talk to me about anything, feel free to either email me or come during my office hours. Okay, the next thing, let's look at our syllabus. I didn't bother to print one out because I won't be seeing you in person unless you come by my office hours. See, here's my room number, cell phone, email address. Email me if at all possible if you have any questions. We'll be looking through first introduction chapter. Then every week we'll be doing at least 1 chapter, if not 2 chapters. They're not super long, so they're not super hard. So we go through the first 5 chapters, and that's going to make up test 1. Then the next 5 chapters are going to be test 2. Going to have spring break. Then the next 4 chapters are going to make up test 3. I'm going to skip like 5, 6 chapters and hit the end of the book chapters, and that's going to be test 4, which will make up our final. But it's really just test 4. We'll give that during finals week. So, there's not really an attendance policy. You're just expected to watch the videos, turn in the problem sets. The exams are worth 20% each. The problem sets are worth 20% each. They're worth 20% overall. The graded scale is 90, 80, 70, 60. Okay. So that's the key thing. Now, the key here is that this is very much so a learn at your own pace. I am more often going to give you the carrot than the stick. So I'm going to try to convince you to keep up by offering bonus points every so often if you've completed up to so many chapters worth of assignments. The tests are going to come directly from this test study material. Feel free to print this out ahead of time and try to answer this as you watch the videos. I have 30 questions that's going to come from these chapters. And 20 of those questions are going to be on the test in some sort of multiple choice format. So if you can answer these with some degree of confidence, you should be able to go into the test with some degree of confidence. Feel free to answer these in advance. Don't wait till right before the test. Do it now so you don't have to rewatch the videos a dozen times. But there's a test study material for tests 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's a lecture set. Each chapter has a problem set. It opens into Google Form. Looks like this. You have so many questions. These questions are actually modified out of the book. So if you had the book, you could look at the original question format in the book. But for the most part, they match the book. Now, anything that is multiple choice will have a definite answer, and it will tell you whether it's right or wrong right away. Everything that is short answer or long answer text, unless there's a really obvious answer that's like one word, it will mark it wrong until I physically look through and grade it by hand. It doesn't matter how right you are. If you misspell something, if you capitalize something when I didn't capitalize it in the answer, it will mark it wrong. Rest assured, I will go through, and if it is right or close enough to right, I will give you points. I don't need 100 emails on, well, I thought I had it right, or I'm sure I had it right. Well, if you spelled sulfur with an E or capitalized sulfur and I didn't, it's going to mark it wrong. I'll see you have it right, and I'll give you points. Rest assured, I do that. So some of these guys are just thinker questions. Questions that I want you to make a reasonable effort to answer. There's not necessarily a right or wrong answer, but I want you to take some time to think about it. Good chemical or bad chemical? Give 2 examples of chemicals ordinarily beneficial, yet can produce undesirable, even deadly effects. Explain why. Depending on how you put this, you could you could put the hazardous here and the good there. So don't just give me carbon monoxide. I mean, why is this good in the right circumstances? Or why is this ordinary beneficial but deadly? Explain. So, options are out there. You just have to think about it. You can have this open while you watch the video. So, maybe if you see son, you read through this and go, oh, he's talking about that right now. You can try to answer these. But so the extra credit that I'll give you will apply to these problem sets. So if I say in 2 weeks' time, I want you to have problem sets 1, 2, and 3 done. For every problem set you have done, I will give you 25 bonus points. So you missed 10 points on the first one. Don't sweat it if you have it done in advance, because then you'll have the extra 25 points. So it's actually now 115 instead of 100%. So if you keep on top of this, it's not going to be a big deal. Now, mind you, sometimes you may forget things and you put it in the back burner. That is all right. I will try to remind you on occasion, but you do have to kind of self-motivate to some extent. I will yell at you if you don't have a test in when everyone else has a test in. But for the most part, if you finish all the work by the end of the semester, I don't really care how late you are. But those are the problem sets. The videos, as you'll see, are posted on YouTube, and they'll link directly in there, and you can jump straight in. I have slides, but I'm also talking. I'm based on the slides. If you need to see the slides, I'll send them to you, but for the most part, it's a video lecture. So you notice Chapter 1 is covered in 35 minutes. Chapter 2, 41. Chapter 3, an hour and 1 minute. I mean, essentially, Chapter 1, you have one lecture this week, besides this intro video that I'm going to post in a bit. So, this should not be a hard class. This should not be a class that takes a ton of your time. I chose the book I did because it's easy, but it also includes a lot of history and etymology of the words, not like entomology like bugs. But so there's some English aspects, there's some historical aspects. It's something that every major can kind of get something out of, and not just science, science, science. So hopefully you'll learn something cool about life in general. You'll learn how a combustion engine works. You'll learn how we measure octane rating. What does buying the fancier gasoline that costs 20 to 30 to 40 cents more a gallon actually do? So, I look forward to seeing you doing work and maybe stopping by in my office. If you ever have any questions, the office is always open. Feel free to email me. With that in mind, have a good semester.